Good day friends, and welcome back to my Easy Gardening channel. Today I am creating a short video that would attempt to answer a few questions that some of my viewers raised regarding the topic on plant propagation by stem cuttings. First question: what if I don't have a mini greenhouse or plant propagation tray? Second, is a plant raising panel or heat pad an absolute requirement to induce rooting of stem cuttings? And third, what is a good substitute for cutting mix if I can't find it in the place where I live? So friends, please stay tuned and I will attempt to answer all these three questions. Okay friends, we'll try to propagate plants without the use of this mini greenhouse propagation tray, or without the use of the heat pad or the plant raising panel, as I have described in my first two videos. And I will also try to discuss what could be a possible substitute for this cutting mix if you can't find this in the market in your own place where you live. And I have here this Coprosma water plants, and I have harvested some shoots, softwood cuttings from these plants here, and these are the softwood cuttings that we will try to propagate without the use of the aforementioned materials. And first thing to do is to get a pot and then fill this up with a medium. This is still cutting mix, by the way, but I will discuss with you the possible substitute for this cutting mix in a little while. Okay, so that's all filled up with the medium, and we'll make sure that it's well watered. So again, we'll dip the cuttings into our hormone. I'm dipping it directly into the container because it's almost done. So we'll just make this quick. You can put about 10 to 15 cuttings in this pot. I think I placed 8 already. That's 9. And that's 10. Okay, we'll make it about 12 cuttings. So that's it. And how are we going to maintain high humidity in the immediate environment of these cuttings without the use of this mini greenhouse? What we can do is to put a pot inside this. Put a stick or a stake at the center of it. You can just tie it up. So that's it. With the use of this pot covered with a very clear bag, you are able to maintain very high humidity. That is good for the cuttings. That is to ensure that the cuttings will have a very good chance of rooting. So we'll set that aside there, and I'm going to show you some of my gardenia cuttings, which I have actually propagated this way. Last time when I used the mini propagation house, there was no room left for some of my cuttings, and so I decided to propagate some using this method. And I think these cuttings have already formed roots and ready for repotting. But the ones that I propagated using a mini greenhouse have since been repotted already, and they're growing quite well already. So if you compare this with using mini greenhouse, it will take a little bit more time for it to induce cuttings. So we'll just try to have a look at some of the cuttings I have propagated this way. We'll just loosen it a bit, and we will Okay, so here you are. These are two of the cuttings that have formed roots. So there is a very good chance that this Coprosma propagated this way will also form roots like what these gardenia have shown so far. So these cuttings will now be ready for repotting. I will not show it in this video because I have shown this to the Hibi cuttings last time already. If you haven't seen that video, please try to look for it in my channel, and you will see how repotting is done and how the newly repotted cuttings are taken care of. Now, another way of doing this is using this one. This one is a smaller pot compared to this one. This is more applicable if you have only few cuttings to root. Again, you put your medium into your pot, and we will moisten it with water. Make sure it is soaking wet. And again, we will put about 4 to 5 cuttings in this small pot. 1 and 5. Well, this time, instead of using this transparent plastic bag, we'll use a cup to cover it. Okay, and make sure that your cup will fit snugly into your pot. Okay, just like that one. The way. So different setup, but it also aims to increase the relative humidity inside this, and that is to make sure that the plants will stay fresh and it will not dry up. Right, so this is the plant raising panel that I've shown you last time. I have here 6 mini greenhouse on top of this raising panel. So the question is this an absolute requirement for propagating stem cuttings? The answer is plants by stem cuttings even without plant raising panel, particularly during the times of the year when it's warm enough. But you might have a bit of difficulty in using cuttings to root during winter times or during the cold months of the year. So for my friends who are in tropical countries like the Philippines, they should be able to propagate cuttings even without this throughout the year. And the question about what could be a possible substitute for this cutting mix, you can actually substitute this using fine river sand, but you may have to add a bit of compost into it, because the fine river sand has a very good porosity, but it may not be able to hold water long enough. So if you add compost into it, say a ratio of 4:1, 4 sand and 1 compost, that should improve the water holding capacity of the medium. Or if you don't have sand and if you have some pumice or even perlite mixed to any other medium, that will be sufficient too. And so that's it, my friends. I'm glad I was able to add this short video to answer some of the questions that you have raised, and I hope I have given you enough tips so that you will be able to try propagation of plants with stem cuttings using the methods that I've shown you. And bye for now, and I do hope you will share the knowledge with others by sharing this video and by subscribing to my Easy Gardening channel. Thank you and have a nice day.